Nicole, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is for the newest release from KB Shimmer. This is their Enchanted Forest collection. This is a 9-piece collection for spring 2021. So this collection, I will say this now, this is not your typical spring release, so we're not like drowning in pastel creams or anything like that. This is a beautiful, well-rounded collection in my personal opinion. If you normally like typical spring colors, you will still like this collection. There are still some polishes in there for you. If you are like me and you don't typically gravitate towards spring colors, you will be very happy with this collection because there are a lot of really fun polishes in here that I wouldn't normally have put into a spring collection, but I think it works perfectly. So this collection is available right now on the KB Shimmer website. They also have several international stockists for if you are outside of the US. Each polish is $11 with the exception of the cream, which is $10. I will have all of that information linked down below, as well as a link to my blog post on Nicole Loves Nails if you'd like to see more swatch photos. So let's just get into the swatches.
First up is Amanita Moment. This is described as a soft sage green crelly with color shifting flakes in green, red, orange, and gold with similar color shifting shimmer. Add a great crelly formula and the flakes spread out really nicely and evenly. I think this will be a 2-coater on most people. I am going to go in for 3 coats. I had some very slight transparency on my tips that I wanted to cover up. If I was just wearing this for my own personal wear, I think I would have just gone in with the 2 coats because it was very, very minor. Nothing in here is going to be difficult to remove and nothing dried down textured. This is a beautiful, beautiful polish. I only recently started liking colors like this, and the flakes and the shimmer paired in this color base is just really pretty. Next up we have Branching Out. This is a trithermal polish. This one is described as a deep near navy indigo when cold to a dusty periwinkle to a blue leaning mint when warm. This also has color shifting flakies that shift from lime gold to spring green to aqua blue. This also had a great formula, not too thick or too thin. It applies really nicely and the flakies are pretty smooth in this base. My hands were fairly warm, so what you're seeing now is the cold state and the mid state together. Polish was very reactive, but I found that my hands just weren't quite warm enough to get the minty color in the warm state. So I think this will be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. I think shorter nails might be able to get away in 2 coats. I'm going to go in for 3 coats, and just a note, my swatch photos are more color accurate than the live swatch portion of this video. This one was really tricky to get the colors photographed accurately. Next up is Dawn to Earth. This is described as a bright cobalt blue jelly base with a strong pink shimmer that shifts fuchsia, rose, and in some lighting, peach and gold. This had a great formula. It didn't feel thick or thin. It is on the sheer side, so you will want to build this one up. On the nail, I was seeing the pink, the gold, the fuchsia, and also I was seeing just like a hint of green at extreme angles. This polish, when I saw it in the bottle, I immediately thought of Heather Hughes' Scorpius polish, which was from Polish Pickup last year, and I think in like January, and then came back for the rewind. These are similar in the shimmer, but the base, the Heather Hughes is more of a blurple, and the KB Shimmer is definitely a blue. If you have short nails, you might be able to get away with 2 coats, but I think this looks best in 3 coats. Depending on your nail length, you might have some visible nail line at certain angles. Next up is Frequent Flyer. This is described as a pastel shimmer polish with a rainbow of color shifts. This had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. So I actually ended up swatching this in 3 coats on its own on my middle nail, and then on my other fingers I swatched it in 1 coat over white. I actually regret doing that because this looked absolutely amazing on its own, and while yes, you could use it as a topper, I actually thought it was a topper when I was swatching it. I think it looks absolutely amazing on its own in 3 coats. over black. It's also really pretty, but I personally prefer it 3 coats on its own. I find you get the most color shifts and the most pastel look in 3 coats on its own. And visible nail line is completely hidden in 3 coats as well. Next up is Hidden Potential. This is another crazy color shifty polish. This one is described as a warm violet hue that shows a strong bronze to golden green shimmer in direct lighting, and in indirect lighting this polish comes to life showing a rainbow of hidden colors. Hidden Potential had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. This does apply similar to a jelly polish, so you will want to build this one up. I think it will be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length and polishing style. I'm going to use 3 coats. I had some very slight visible nail line where my extension nail is, but I don't think that will fully translate onto natural nails. And I will note that this polish is extremely, extremely, extremely color shifty. And you can see each of my swatch photos look completely different, but it really is the exact same polish in all of them. Next up is I'd Pick You. This is described as a pastel orchid crelly base with softly colored flakes showing off hues of leaf green, goldenrod, peach, and at some angles aqua. This had a fantastic formula. It wasn't too thick or too thin. The flakies all spread out evenly and easily on their own, and none of them seemed to dry down textured. I used 1 coat of top coat and it smoothed it out perfectly. So this polish leans very pink on me, but in person it's definitely a purple leaning orchid, but it looks very warm on me. Here in the daylight photos you can definitely see the purple, but with my skin tone it seems to want to show more on the pinky side. This will be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference and nail length. Next up is Mist Me, and this is described as a light slate blue base with a warm rose gold shimmer that transforms the shades of copper and warm honey, as well as having linear holographic pigment. This had a great formula, not too thick or too thin. It applied very nicely. It's also very opaque in comparison to some of the jelly-like formulas in this collection. It's very opaque on its own. This is another 2 to 3 coater depending on preference and nail length. I think natural nails would be good in 2 coats for the most part. I just had some transparency on my tips that I wanted to cover up. But this polish is absolutely amazing in every single... I made sure to show this one in a bunch of different lighting because it looks amazing in every single type of lighting. Nothing in here dries down texture, and removal will be pretty easy. Next up is a multi-chrome, and this one is called No Illusions. This one starts off as a bright teal that changes into shades of blue, shades of purple to magenta, and at some angles warm gold and orange tones. This is an extremely color shifty multi-chrome. So I'm going to show this one in 2 coats. I think most people would be good in 2 coats. I had like some very slight transparency on my tips. I probably could have gone in for a 3rd coat, but I thought it was definitely opaque enough that it wasn't going to show in photos, and I was right. This polish is absolutely amazing. Like, my jaw dropped when I was swatching this. I did not want to take it off. This was just a very impressive multi-chrome, and it wasn't brush strokey at all. The final polish, with a very unique name, is called What the Fudge. This is described as a milk chocolate colored cream polish. This had a fantastic formula. It self-leveled perfectly. I think shorter nails might possibly be able to get away with 1 coat, but I found the 2nd coat does deepen the color to what you see in the bottle and gives you a nice milk chocolatey color on the nail. Just a really beautiful colored polish, and you guys know me and browns. I love them.
And that is it for the Enchanted Forest collection. Again, like I said, this is available right now on the KB Shimmer website as well as their international stockists. So I do have some personal favorites that just stood out to me personally. Number 1 would be Frequent Flyer. I am in love with the pastel multi-chromes. This is the first one that I've ever owned, and I need to remedy that. I need more of these. I don't know why I don't already own more of these because this was absolutely fantastic. I need more pastel multichrome, so if anyone has any recommendations, let me know. Even though I'm on a no buy, let me know anyway. My next personal favorite would be No Illusions. This was the multichrome. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. The formula was fantastic. The colors, just this is a super color shifty polish, and there were just so many colors in this. And I really regret not liking multichromes until like last year. I think last year was the year where I decided I liked multichromes. So yeah. Next up would be Mist Me. I just love when linear holographics have shimmer added to them, because I find that when you're in lighting that's not perfect for holographic, that you still get a really beautiful look on the nail with the shimmer, and this was absolutely phenomenal. And my final personal favorite would be I'd Pick You. I just love the base color paired with the flakies. I thought it was a super gorgeous on the nail. And this polish just made me very, very happy. It was tricky to get color accurate, but like it's such a gorgeous polish. Such a gorgeous polish. And so that's it for the KB Shimmer Enchanted Forest collection. This is a 9-piece collection that is available right now on the KB Shimmer website, as well as all of their international stockists. This has been out for a little bit now. I'm a little late. I would love to hear from y'all on which one of these that were your personal favorites. Have you picked any of them up? Just let me know. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!